I'm Aviva Fisher with Literacy Unlocked. I am an Orton Gillingham certified dyslexia tutor, and as well as having 4 children, 3 of whom are dyslexic, and I'm currently tutoring my youngest. So my older 2 are doing okay, doing fine, they're supported in their way, and so now I'm just currently working with my youngest, and I have a private tutoring business, which right now is virtual. So if you have any questions about what I'm going to present to you today, please just try to send me an email and I will be happy to respond as quickly as I can. So first of all, I just wanted to show you what supplies I used to make the soundboard. The soundboard is a trifold board that you can find in the school supply section of Staples or Target. They're very easy to find. So the trifold board should not be difficult at all for you to find. Now, the inside is probably the hardest part, and I know that my boards are laminated so that I can reuse them from student to student, so there's a little bit of glare. So I'll try to make sure that I'm clear as to what I did. Also available at Staples, Office Depot, Office Max, those types of places, since most of you are living in places where educational stores are probably closed right now. There's this bulletin board material that you can get there. It's very, very soft, so it does tear easily, but it also means that it also cuts very easily. So I used this, and I had this laminated. For those of you who are parents who are just looking at needing to make one, there's no need to get it laminated. Just be aware that whatever you use to tape your sounds onto this, the first time you tape it, that's where it's going to stay. Because if you try to take it off and reposition it, chances are you're going to break, to tear this. So I got it in 3 colors. I got it in green, red, and blue. And all of those are chosen for a specific reason. The middle section is my green section, and that section has to do with all of the sounds that are phonetically correct. So green means go. Therefore, my green section are all the sounds that pretty much behave. So on that, you're going to have your consonants, your consonant digraphs, your vowels, and things like that. The red side of the board is for stop and pay attention to me. On here are all the words that they're working on that would be considered sight words for them. These may be phonetic words that they don't know the phonetic rules for yet. So for example, the word blue, as in the color blue, is completely phonetic. Why? Because we don't end words in the English language with the letter U. And whenever we need a vowel to just sit there, shut up, and not say anything, we put the E in there. So blue, UE, as in blue and glue, this is going to be a really, really advanced phonetic skill they're not going to have for a very long time. So if I need to teach them that word, it's going to go on the red word, which means we've learned it in a different way than we have learned our phonetic words or phonetic sounds. So stop, pay attention. These are words you're going to need to memorize. The blue is for all of my grammar rules or all of my spelling rules. And where I got that inspiration for that is, and I'm going to just bring this up real close to you so that you can see it. This is a speech expansion tool that speech therapists use, and this is my homemade version of it. And basically there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes, 7 beads on here. And on here, they use different kinds of skills for learning how to describe things. So like green is group, blue is what does it do, the eyeball, what does it look like, the one made out of parts, out of wood, what is it made of, etc. The one that I was really actually most interested in was the blue one. Blue, what does it do? Because these spelling rules and these grammar rules are how our language does things. So for my students who are in speech therapy for receptive or expressive speech deficits, most likely they have seen this and they will immediately be able to connect blue, what does it do, in their speech therapy sessions to blue, what does it do for grammar. So there's a few things you want to pay attention to. One, if you can't get these, because not everything is getting restocked. If you have construction paper, that will work. Or if you even have like borders or want to create borders, print out yellow, green, red, and blue, just a big piece of paper if you don't have construction paper, and create a border. So at least they have a visual border around here that will tell them this is the red section, this is the green section, and this is the blue section. Now, a lot of our students have are not only visual learners, but we're working with them because they're not reading proficiently yet. So to label things with words doesn't really help them at all. So what I did instead was I just went online and Googled images that worked for me. So in one of the schools that I work with, they call sight words popcorn words. So I got some popcorn and I can put it up here. For other students who are not in the school that I primarily work in, I just have a couple of eyeballs over here. I don't know if you can see them. For the middle guy here, I don't think I have an extra copy of him, but this is just a picture of a gentleman. Oh, I do. Here's a picture of a guy listening. And so these are the sounds that behave correctly, so we can listen for them and know what they do. And the last section is a picture of somebody writing. And again, it's to just simply show you that we are using these for spelling and grammar rules. So I want to give some credit to the people that I've used their resources extensively to create the soundboard that you saw. I went to Teachers Pay Teachers, and an adorable little shop called First Grade Freckles put together the sound wall. I'm going to bring this up here so that you can see her contact information. It's First Grade Freckles. When you go on Teachers Pay Teachers, you want to look for the sound wall that looks like this. It's the only one that is this good, and this is by far the best sound wall I have ever seen. On her sound wall, in her sound wall packet, it is only $5, and you get 250 pages of sounds. She has digraphs, trigraphs, blends, diphthongs, diphthongs. Did I say digraphs? She's got the obviously the consonants, all the different kinds of ways the vowels work. She has the hard and soft G rules. She has the floss rule or the doubling rule. She's got a ton of different things on there that this resource by itself I've used it exhaustively. And I'm going to show you 3 examples of how I've used it for various kids. Now, when you get it, the way that she has it actually so that there's 2 big pictures on each page. And for me, those are too big because I don't have a huge bulletin board in a classroom. I'm working individually with kids. I need these to be portable, fold away so that I can put them away and bring the next child out. So what I do is on a board this size for my beginning students, because one of the things you want to make sure is you have lots and lots and lots of I would call it white space, but you want to have green space or blue space or red space. You don't want it to be crowded at all. So one of the things that I will do is I will say to the computer, please, instead of printing it 1 per page, print it 2 per page. And now 2 pages per page. So this would have been on 1 page and this would have been on 1 page. But since I've asked the computer to put 2 pages on one, it automatically scaled it down to 50%, and I didn't waste so much paper. If I have an advanced student who's going to have a lot more on, I will even ask it to do 6 pages per page, per printer page. So that way they really are even smaller than playing cards. I will laminate them, but again, you're at home, you're working with 1 kid, you don't really need to laminate, but they will last a lot longer and not get so much scorched if you do. So this is 6 pages per printed page, and this is 4 pages per printed page, or 2 pages. Sorry. The next thing that I will do is I will go through and put any of the spelling rules, like the cat kite rule, the doubling rules, the floss rules, anything like that over here on the grammar. Any of our sight words over here on the red, and this will stay all of our phonetic sounds. Vowels, I color code. So if you're working with a color coding system, some will have it where the vowels are red. Perhaps you want to put some sort of a red border on that particular sheet, on those particular letters, so that they stand out. For me, I actually have a color coding system where the vowels are yellow. So for me, I print it on a yellow piece of paper. This is your magic E and your other vowel teams that go along with it. And that way, when they're looking for a vowel, I will keep the vowels separate, consonants separate, and they'll be color coded. White paper for consonants, yellow paper for vowels, and will be golden. The other thing that I want to show you is how you can adjust it if your child is, so this is the basic setup. If you have a child who's in the kindergarten, first grade skill range, I want to show you what my board looks like for that. I feel like a cooking show. I've just shown you all the ingredients, and here's our finished dish. So this is end of kindergarten, beginning first grade. Oops. So you'll see in the center, that never happens on cooking shows though. You'll see in the center, we have digraphs, we have consonants, we have our vowels, we have the different ones that they need, and that's very key. Only put up here the things that they need. If they don't need any visual for how to pound and finger tap words, don't put it up there. That creates just visual clutter that they have to figure out how to eliminate. This is your board for your child. Only put up there what's helpful to them. And then over here, you'll see our popcorn rules, our popcorn words. Down here, just because it was a younger group, again, we needed visual rules. And I don't know if you can see my visual rules, but my visual rules have a zipper on the mouth emoji, a raising hand, and look with eyes in there, so that they know visually what the words, what the rules are. Remember, these are kids who may or may not be able to read what your rules are, what your homeschooling rules are, what the function of each board is. So this is really, really helpful to do everything visually. And the last board that I want to show you is actually my son's board. He is approaching, depending on the curriculum, end of first grade, beginning second grade. He's mastered all of his basic consonants. And so now his looks very, very different. His, I'm going to pull this forward a little bit so maybe you can see it a little bit better. His is actually almost completely a vowel wall. Completely a vowel wall. He's learning not only the cat kite rule, but when soft C happens. He hasn't learned soft G yet, so it's not up there. He's got his syllables. He's got his 1-1-1 rules that he's going on. And he's got, and this is why she's so great. Look at what first grade Freckles has done. She has made sure that her border for long A, short A, and all the ways you can make them all correspond. It's an incredibly thoughtful sound wall. It's an incredibly thoughtful sound wall. So first grade Freckles on Teachers Pay Teachers has done a fabulous job. This is a board that can expand further and further and further. One of the ways you can continue to expand it is we're starting to do Montessori grammar. And so as he learns that our symbol for a noun will be a black triangle, guess what's we're gonna rearrange this, and we're gonna find a spot for putting parts of speech up there, so that way he can remember what the parts of speech are. This is a tremendous asset to your learning disabled kids or the kids who are at risk for falling behind, especially as you've got them at home now. You can create this and you can really help them. They'll be able to really get familiar with where things are on the board and be able to know exactly where to go to for the knowledge that they're struggling for. struggling with. So if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to me at fischertutoring.com, Fischer tutoring.com. You can also reach out to me via Facebook, either through Aviva Fischer or Unlocked Literacy. My page is still under construction, so there's not much there right now, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. fischertutoring@gmail.com or Literacy Unlocked. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.